What's going on? Just got my new bow in. Completely bone dry. We just got it in. I just got some stuff. Just got all the trinkets to put on it. We're going to show you in start to finish of us putting the stuff on it and maybe a few shots. I got the HHA optimizer light.
Nice.
For a sight. I got a Vapor Trail limb driven Pro V rest.
Nice.
And we're going to put a peep sight in it.
Nice.
Let's get to work. First thing we're going to do is put this sweet little orange peep sight in there. And this is going to be the hardest part, the part that I dread the most because I don't have a string spreader. The reason I wanted to put the peep in there first is because it actually makes the string move up and down just a tiny little bit. That way, whenever I put the D-loop and the knock sets and stuff on here, this will be already spread out and moved like it's going to be. Gotta do what you gotta do when you don't got a bow press. Now that we got that setting level, we're going to take one of the arrows that he's going to shoot and stick it on this servant and let it hang right through the burger button hole. All I'm going to do is just clip that on the string. You can see right there it's setting through the top of the burger button hole. We want it down lower than that. So I'm going to take that knock up just a little bit where the bottom of the arrow is going through the center of the burger button hole. That way when we put his rest on, we can have it set just barely low. And we'll go from there.
So looking at it as level as you can, it's just above that hole.
Yeah, you want the string level, and you want the arrow setting towards square, you know? Because if your bow's not level, this won't show true. And all you want is either this arrow going right through the middle of that hole, or the bottom of it going through that hole. Now we'll get me a couple of knock sets ready. Just 2 pieces of serving. Come in here like that. Make sure you don't move the knock. Just tie it overhand, get it to set right down on the top of the knock without moving it. Souse that baby down. Come around to the bottom. Stick this one right above that bottom one. Back up to the top. Back down to the bottom. See that hole right there between those? It's already set and it's not going to move, but that crack right there, this is the way I've been doing them and they last a long time. Do one more overhand right in that crack. Check it one more time. What I've been doing with them is taking a little dab of super glue and putting it right on that last knot I done. Like that. And while it's still kind of wet, tie one more overhand. Cinch it down. It'll mush down into that glue. Like that. Clip it off at about 1/8 or 1/4 inch. There's the top one. Get this slid back up there where it's setting tight against the knock set. Take this other piece we got, come to the bottom, do an overhand, and right here's what you want to do on the bottom one. You slide it up into the bottom of that knock, tighten it just a little bit, and it'll pick one of these serving ridges to go down into. And once you get it in the first one, check it and see how much play you got right there. So you got just barely a little bit of play. And this has got a kind of a steep string angle because it's a 28-inch bow. We're going to try to get it right there like that. It's got a tiny bit of play, and once we do that last one, it's going to push this string just towards that a little bit, which should make it perfect. One on the top. Do one more overhand on the top. Again, we're going to land it right between those. 2 on the top. Dab of glue on there. tiny bit of play. And anybody that don't know, the reason you do that is whenever you draw the string back and the string comes in like that, it'll pinch that knock. And if you don't have a tip in there, a good way to check, see if you're getting knock pinch, is to take the tip off your arrow and just draw it back. Obviously don't shoot it, and see if your arrow tries to stand up or just, you know, does something funny. If it's not just kind of resting there real easy, then it's pinching the tarnation out of that knock once you get it drawn back. D-loop. Are you ever going to be shooting a thumb button?
Probably eventually, not
Eventually.
this year.
When you shoot a thumb button and you get drawn back here, you're not holding your release like this. You're actually curling it up into your jawbone. When you do that, it'll take your D-loop and it'll flex it one way or the other. And if you're a right-handed shooter, it's going to be flexing it this way. So you want this string coming over on this side of the string and over on this side if you're a right-handed shooter. That way it's already kind of in the spot that you want it. If you got it coming over this way and you're a right-handed shooter, when you get drawn back, this D-loop's going to be cranking all the way over like that, putting a bunch of torque and weird stuff on there that you don't want. So you just make a loop on one side of it. Pull that in through. So that's how you want that side tied. And you get this side as tight as you can get it before you move to the other side. I like to pinch this up like that. Get everything set and pretty. And then pull this line. If only it was rabbit season.
There's a doghouse literally like right here behind this pool with a beagle in it.
He's none too interested. Good dog, boys. He's a good dog. I take my fingers like that and grab that string and just pull really tight. So the reason I do that is because once you get these pliers on there and you're pulling your D-loop, if you don't have this side tight already, it's going to pull it out there and your D-loop's going to be like 1.5 inches long, and you don't want that. Now this time we're going to come to the other side of the string like that, through here, around the back of that side, and then back up through there and pull that tight, and just like that. Now you can see what I was saying about how the string's running. It starts over here and it ends over here, so it's already halfway into the spot that you want it. We're gonna do the same thing over here. We're gonna get this side pretty tight already because these things will stretch and pull through there a bunch. I'm gonna cut this off a little bit longer than you would think you would. Just like that to fluff up. If you want it far enough away from your string that once you light this thing up, you're not going to be melting the actual D-loop. And you do this slow. If you do it real fast, you're going to burn it, and then it's not going to be as strong as it should be. Now we're ready for the pliers, and this thing's going to get a little bit longer. Set those pliers in there. Make sure you're not on your knock sets. Just like that. Main thing you got to make sure of is when you're putting a D-loop on, is that they're not so short that your release can touch that. The release is not going to touch it. And right there is why I tied it the way I did, putting the string on this side and then coming over to this side, because like I said, right-handed shooter, you anchor like this, especially with the thumb button. Once you get back there and anchor, it's already setting in the position for the most part that you want it in. Let's put the accessories on it. So Pro V onto the Mathews VXR. Once you get it lined up with the hole over there, you can see that the cage is slamming into the cable roller. So what we're gonna do is, if you look in the back of this, there's 2 holes. Thank you, vapor trail. And we're gonna run it into that other hole right there. Just like that. Now I'm gonna get the center shot. Now we're getting center shot, which is 13/16 from the edge of the riser. I don't think they changed it from the VXR to the Verdicts, which is what I got.
Are you going to the center of the arrow or to the edge of it?
Center. Right to the middle of the arrow, and that's bad close right where it's at. You see right there. See how close that is? Pretty much it. Good starting point. And then if we start getting some funky tears in the paper, we'll move that around a little more. Now, we're going to get Hogan to draw it back and get this peep set there right and serve this baby in. Corner of the string in your mouth. Can you do that? That looks way better right there. Yeah. Can you get the tip of your nose on the string? Does that feel good?
It's too high right there, but yeah.
Right, keep it drawn back for a second. That closer. Now we're going to serve in the peep sight. The only problem is if you look at the peep, you can tell it's pointed over this way a little bit, and we want it setting like this. So what I'm going to do when I serve this thing in, jam that in there like that, I'm going to wrap this direction all the time, so in hopes of pulling that peep around straight. We got the peep served in, we got the D-loop on, we got the arrow rest on there, and the sight. It's time for this bow to shoot its first arrow.
Let's try it.
Is that the middle?
Yeah, I was shooting like the center of the big one.
Okay. Hogan shot a few test shots into the target. We got it sighted in pretty close. We're gonna shoot one through paper real quick just to see what it does. Here we go. Bullet hole right here, and then the fletchings are over here just a little bit. It's already shooting good. This is day one. We'll take a break and we'll get it sighted in, and it'll all be one big video.
Maybe tomorrow evening.
Maybe tomorrow evening. This is day 2 of bow tuning Hogan's bow. We shot it the other day. He shot it a few times since then, building up his strength, and now we're going to shoot it through paper again close and try to get a good tear. Then we're going to step back and get this thing tuned, then we're going to put a sight tape on it. So it's about the same as the other day. You can see that the impact is right there and the knock is high right. So we're going to make a quick adjustment on the rest and try to correct that. It's another thing, if you're paper tuning your bow and your grip's bad and you're torquing it, you'll never paper tune it. You might think you got it paper tuned, you shoot 3 through paper, one's good, the second one's terrible, the third one's good. It's a lot to do with your grip. You want to be like a machine when you shoot it and do the exact same thing every time. That grip looks dynamite. Ooh, right to the same hole. It's good. Alright. She's down. So it didn't move much of anything compared to that first one. It's about the same. So we'll move it just a little farther and see what we can get it to do. Alright, while Hogan's over there talking to his mistress, I'm going to go ahead and take this up another notch. Go a little bit heavier. And try it right there. Okay. Alright, so still, not much is changing. Let's try to get the left and right out of it. And then we'll go with the up and down. So Hogan's appraiser is appraising his house, and he had to run off on me for a minute. So I went ahead and took a shot for him. You can see right there, the point is a little bit low and the fletchings are starting to look like they're right above our point. So what I'm gonna do while he's gone is take up that rest just a little bit, because we're still, the bottom of our arrow is barely coming through the burger button hole, kind of low like that and pointing down. So what we're gonna do is take it up just a little bit more and try to get like right there, and hopefully we'll take that out. So let's make that adjustment real quick. That's super close. So the knock's just barely to the left. Let's get a fresh piece of freezer paper on here, then we'll fine tune it to you instead of me, because I can't hardly anchor that bow. So what I did is we ran out of adjustment to go up any higher, and what I had to do was lower the knock point just a little bit, like a 1/16 of an inch, because a 1/16 of an inch here, moving it this way from this point to this point, is a whole lot out here. So it brought our tip up, and in turn we brought this down some more, and now my last one was this one, so it's super close. New piece of freezer paper, bow is tuned to me, I got a bullet hole out of it, and we're gonna see if Hogan can. Oh baby, just call me dadgum John Dudley. The thing you can do when you're paper tuning is once you get a bullet hole, shoot several of them. Get like 2 or 3 bullet holes in a row to see if you're doing your thing. And then step back a couple yards and try to get a bullet hole at like 3 yards, 5, and 10. And if you do that, you know your bow's doing really good. Yeah, buddy. Might be a tiny bit of something going on back there. A little bit knock left. Paper tune shot, number 2 at 10 yards. That one wasn't good. What happened? That one went knock left, way worse than this one. So that's what I was saying about grip and facial pressure and all that stuff, and the level bubble. All that stuff comes into play big time when you're paper tuning. Just something you did in between this one and that one made that much of a difference. So we moved the rest out just a little bit, and I got 2 bullet holes at 10 yards. There's one, right there's the other. Now we're going back to Hogan and seeing if he can get a couple of bullet holes. That's not bad, you're a little bit knock left still. Okay, so you're still a little knock left. Alright, man, that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. So you got a bullet hole at 10. Get one at point blank real quick, and I'll be satisfied.
Should I be able to?
Yeah, make sure everything's the same, level that bubble and all that junk again. We got a bullet hole at point blank. We got a bullet hole at 10 yards. We got a tuned bow. We got the bow tuned. We're back at 20 yards. We're gonna get it sighted in at 20, and then put this setup tape on his HHA and get it tuned and try to get it shooting good at 20, and then back here like 50 or something.
Sure the turkey gobble?
I heard it, but I didn't know it was a turkey.
Yeah.
So we're back at 30. We've got 20 set. Now we're trying to figure out where on the setup tape 30 is. After we get that, we're gonna put a little mark on there or memorize the number and move back to 40. Here's the 30-yard group. Got one a little low, one dead center of the paper, one just barely bottom right. So we're gonna bring it up just a little bit to where he's grouping all around this orange every time. So we got 30 set on his sight tape, and now we're moved back, and we're trying to figure out where 40 is on the HHA. Whew, baby. How did you feel about that one?
Pretty good.
Okay, you're perfect left to right. You're about 4 inches high. All right, looks to me like you got 2 right on it, and you got one about 4 or 5 inches high. That was beautiful. Just touching paper. How'd that one feel? Good. Guess you're about 1.5 inches high left. We're back at 50. We made an adjustment on there. Hopefully it was the right one. How'd that one feel? Good, because it's pretty good. So we got some little dots on here at 20, 30, 40, and 50. This is the way I do it. I just shoot at 20 till I know it's on. I put a little mark on it, and then I move back to 30, put a mark, 40, put a mark, 50, put a mark. And then what you do is you take some sight tape that comes with your sight. You can see down through here. You just want to match one of these up that matches up perfect with your dots. And we're hoping that this 80, this biggest one that goes out to 80 will match. So we line that up with that 20 right there. And then as you can see, that 20 is perfect with that one. The 30 is almost perfect. And the 50 is almost perfect. It might be running a little bit heavy. So let's try the one right below it. Alright, so 20 to 30 is perfect. 30 to 40 is perfect. And then 40 to 50 is perfect. So I want to say that that's his sight tape. Now what I do is I set this right to 20, like that. And then I lock it down. You can take this old setup off now, because we've got our sight tape picked out. Peel that baby off. Come right down here. You want to set that 20 right where your little indicator is at. Get it as close as you can. I like to set it to where it actually touches what I want it to be on too. You can move this out of the way, make sure you get it all pushed down good. And it should be set. Just like that. 20, 25, 30. 35, 40, 50, see how high you can get. You can at least get a 75-yard shot. And we have completely built the bow that I would be tickled pink to take to the woods. Thanks for watching.